Hi everyone, today I'll be unveiling a software I created called Agency Boss. The purpose of this software is to help you to better manage your digital agency, whether it's a software development agency or a creative agency or SEO agency. I think this software will be particularly helpful to you to run your agency. I've been using it myself for many years to run my own agency, which is called Winterwind. I started running a software development agency in 2018, and as our client base grew, it became more and more difficult to manage all of the clients of the agency, to manage a growing staff base. So what I did was I created a cloud-based software, which was originally just for myself to help me to better manage my agency. But I've made some updates to it so that any digital agency owner can sign up for it and take advantage of it. We can just do a little sneak peek here. So I have privacy mode turned on here, so we're not showing any sensitive client data here. But you can see you can have your own custom domain name for the software. And what you're seeing here is you're actually seeing all of the data from my agency. It's just that things like client names and contact person and emails, all kinds of contact information are obfuscated. They're not showing the real data. But the numbers that you see are actually the numbers for my agency. So we're going to do a whole bunch of training videos in the future where I teach you about all of the different features of the software and how to use them and how to best take advantage of them. But in this introductory video, we're just going to talk at a high level about the software and the benefits that it provides. So it's called Agency Boss. Our tagline is manage every facet of your digital agency, because this is what the software attempts to do. It is cloud-based, so you can access it from a browser anywhere. A lot of the data in the software is tabular, as you can imagine, so it's not to be used on mobile or even really tablet, although it might work on tablet. It's really meant to be used on a desktop computer where it's easy to see tabular data, because much of the different features in it is tables. It's a digital agency management software, and there is a whole host of features within it. Myself and my team have been working on this for almost a year now. Your resources or your staff, they can log their work in there. They can log when they started, the hours. They can add a description so that your clients can see what exactly they did. You can manage all of your clients here. It supports client retainers, so your client can easily see their retainer at any time. It's also cloud-based. They can export the retainer to Excel, CSV, or PDF. You can track your employee skills in here. So if you have a growing agency, regardless of the amount of staff in your agency, they can all enter their skills in there and keep them updated. So making it easier for you to choose the right staff for new clients that will come along. You can host it on your own custom domain name, making it like a white label software. So your staff and your clients, for that matter, they will not even know that this software is from another company. It will look like you created this software yourself. It supports agencies from any country. It has multi-currency support. So regardless of which currency you charge your clients in, or if you charge them in multiple different currencies, such as in my agency, it does have multi-currency support. So there's really too much features to talk about in this initial video, but we will be covering all of them in future videos. So if you want to try it out, you can go to agencyboss.com and register. And after you register, it's going to spin up its own instance for you. Each of the instances has their own separate database, so they're really quite separate. And initially, your URL will be something like, your agency name, such as lemon.agencyboss.com. But you do have the option, the settings, to give this a custom domain name, such as on a subdomain, like I've done here. I just did ams.winterwind.com. AMS standing for Agency Management System. However, this really could be anything you like in the subdomain. So, like I said, there's many different features in here. I'm not going to cover them all in this video. One interesting thing, though, well, I will talk a little bit about the roles within the software. So, it has 3 roles which it supports, which is the owner and what we call the manager. So the manager could be someone like admin staff in your agency, or an agency manager, which helps you to manage your agency, but they're not doing work for the clients. And then finally, there's the resource role. So the resource role would be like your developer or your designer or your SEO, who are doing work for the clients. Now, I should note that this software is really suitable for hourly agencies. Winterwind is an hourly agency, and it's really built for that. That being said, I do think it will still be beneficial for agencies that do fixed price projects. And I am going to talk about that in a future video, how to make it work for agencies that do fixed price projects. But if you're an hourly agency, the software will be very suitable for you, just as it is for my agency, which is a purely hourly agency. We don't take on fixed price projects. So if you do run things on an hourly basis, such as paying your employees, paying your resources X amount and charging the clients Y, and then making the margin on that, this software will be it will be very suitable for you. So we have the 3 different roles: owner, manager, and resource. The owner and the manager role is very, very similar in terms of user experience. It's just that the owner has access to the subscription part of the instance and updating credit cards and things like that, whereas the manager doesn't. But other than that, the manager and the owner has a very similar user experience. One other thing we do is we allow the owner and the manager to also have the resource role. So you may find that even though you're the manager of an agency or you're the owner of an agency, sometimes you're working like a resource in your agency, such as doing consulting for the client or checking the code or whatnot. In which case, you might want to charge to the client's retainer, even though you're an owner. So in that case, we do enable that role. We just call it a dual manager resource role. And for these people, like what I'm logged in right now, you can click resource view in the top, and then you can jump over to the resource section, and the resources in your agency, this is what they're going to see. So then, for example, right now I'm logged in as the owner, but I can still jump over to the resource section, and I can go to log work here, and I can, select a client and a project. I'll enter the description of what I did, the date that I did it, the start time, and the hours that I worked. This does support decimals. Okay, and then I would submit here, and then that would log to the retainer. So if we actually just pop over here, if we pop over here to the active clients page, I can very briefly show you an example of a retainer here. So if I click here, all of the data here is obfuscated. Like I said, this is real data from my agency, but we're hiding all the sensitive data. So this is an example of a retainer here. We have the project, the date, the resource, the description, of what the resource entered. You can copy this to the clipboard. The hours, the rate, the total spend for that day, and then the time they logged it. Your client can export this to Excel, CSV, or PDF. You'll notice a logo here in the top right. You can upload your own custom logo there as long as it's a square. And this retainer can be sent off to your clients. It's sort of separate from the authenticated portion of the AMS, but yeah. So this is like a guest page, and you can send this link to your clients at any time. So I think that's all I want to cover in this introductory video. Agency Boss is an agency management software, really suitable for hourly digital agencies, but it also works for agencies that do fixed price projects. And going forward, I'm going to release a whole bunch of different training videos teaching you about the different features of this software. So I look forward to seeing you then.